If you've been on the internet for any time throughout the past 10 years, you've probably heard of one FouseyTube. He was a internet superstar, one of YouTube's founding fathers, you might say, a very, very famous YouTuber who eventually gave himself over to streaming. And I'll be honest, I was never a fan. It was never my type of content, but he was wildly popular throughout his years. Unfortunately, throughout those same years of popularity, he has, what's the word? Kind of descended into a realm of complete madness, becoming what many might consider a complete schizo, not the type of person you would look up to, even if you were honestly the shortest person alive. We've all seen moment after moment of FouseyTube losing his absolute shit. And it was, in fact, those very moments that actually revitalized his career, at least for a few minutes. But eventually, all things must come to an end. And Fousey has been losing popularity with every single second that passes, with fewer and fewer people caring about his constant mental breakdowns. Now, I understand that Fousey has claimed to have a number of mental illnesses, and I'll be honest, I don't really care that much. I find much of his behavior to be reprehensible at best and unforgivable at worst. And the fact that he has these mental illnesses doesn't necessarily make him immune to criticism, especially because rather than seek out treatment and surrounding himself with people who might help him with getting over these problems that he has, he has chosen instead to surround himself with those who will take advantage of him, those who will incentivize his worst behaviors, and those who will simply get their rocks off while he pops off. Now, our friend Jamari has made a video on how our boy Fusi is unable to accept this downfall of his. And I'm curious as to what Jamari has to say that has not already been said. So, let us bear witness to Jamari's testament on FouseyTube.
So it has been a couple of months since we last caught up with our buddy FouseyTube. At one time, Yusuf was arguably the biggest creator on YouTube, but now he has hit rock bottom more times than I can count. Last time we talked, Fousey was
I always forget that he likes to wear crop tops like that, or at least to wear like tank tops and then roll them up like they're crop tops. It's really weird.
experiencing his annual Crashout, only this time things got even more explosive than usual, with him going off and attacking several of
Is that a wig, a hat, or is that just the way his hair looks now? I hope that's a hat.
his employees, both physically and mentally.
Fired a cameraman in 5 minutes. Swear to God, on my mother's heartbeat,
Okay,
you
it's
would
a
be
hat.
fired right now, and you personally, I think I would have punched in the face. Stop getting face. Hey, are you slow? Go work at Chuck E. Cheese. Suck my dick. Come here, make me something.
Like even his own
Yeah, yeah. As I said, constant mental breakdowns. It really does feel like he's just not well, and the last thing he should be doing is make himself more of a figure on the internet than he needs to be. He should be doing chill things. Like if he really wants to be a YouTuber at this point, I feel like just sit down and play some fucking Animal Crossing, dog. I feel like that will be good for you.
own family was not spared in his quest for someone
His
to blame for his
family?
failures.
I'm a Muslim. You guys put me on this earth, Baba. But now I'm 34, so I'm living my own life. So, Baba, this is the last you're ever gonna see me. I live in Australia now.
It's just
Such a
hilarious
dipshit.
to me how someone can go from trying to present themselves as a beacon of positivity and pursuing your dreams, and then the very next day the dude goes against everything that he preaches.
Oh, well, it's a mental breakdown, right? Also, the fact that, and this cannot be this cannot be overstated. It needs to be reinforced as many times as it gets brought up. The only reason FouseyTube is famous is because people enjoy watching him be as radical and as bombastic as he is. Now, is this fun when people are having fun? Absolutely. Unfortunately, FouseyTube is no longer having fun. FouseyTube is just exploding violently on anything that approaches him, and that's his idea of being entertaining, because that's kind of what his fan base has led him to believe is entertaining. When he doesn't do this stuff, he doesn't get as many views. And because all he notices is viewership, you lose out on that viewership as soon as you stop being literally a walking explosive. And at that point, you feel like you have to keep doing it. And when you're already as mentally unstable as this man has shown himself to be, well,
develops a massive ego overnight, and pretty much walks around as if he was a god on earth who can abuse and treat anyone around him like a peasant.
Kevin, when I say spray,
didn't he get his ass whooped when he went boxing? Like I'm fairly certain this guy, he got roasted in the ring, right? Like he thought he was gonna just win, didn't train at all, didn't get any amount of preparation done, and then just got whooped.
hey, you go to her and you do this in the face, okay?
I've known individuals like this who treat people around them like crap when they feel like it, and then they try and play it off or play the victim later like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have. Most of those people end up getting like their nose knocked off of their face, but hey, you know, Fuzi's been lucky in that regard. Mostly because, probably because, almost certainly actually, because he surrounds himself with bodyguards.
People almost always end up alone, or with their lone victim who endures that type of abuse.
Yeah.
But this is really just the Fusi cycle at this point. First he's down and out, humble and begging for pity. At this stage he's likely reconnected with God and his family. Then he starts to get some fame again, some clout online, maybe lands a few collaborations with bigger content creators. He then starts to get some money and immediately turns to material possessions for validation, and then his true self kind of starts to leak out. He may say something.
It's one of those things, right? People like to say that power corrupts, money corrupts, all this shit. No. Power and money don't corrupt, because there's plenty of people who, when they get a ton of power and when they get a ton of money, they become this force of positivity, force of good, helping people, giving back, you know, Moist Critical, PewDiePie, fucking Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, tons of content creators, right? People who become millionaires and they stay humble and all they do is just give back. Give back, give back, give back. Hey guys, I made this show. Yeah, I'm losing a bunch of money, but that's okay. I'm making this show to entertain you. Hey guys, I made this giveaway. Hey guys, I made this charity. Hey guys, yada, yada, yada. They make a ton of stuff, right? That's what a lot of creators strive to be, right? They strive to be that force of positivity. A lot of others strive to be FouseyTube. And unfortunately, it really does become more and more apparent that power doesn't corrupt, power reveals. Money doesn't corrupt, money reveals. As soon as he no longer has the money, as soon as he no longer has the power, FouseyTube goes humble. He goes, guys, please, I feel like I've been down this bad road in my life, and I'm gonna be better, right? And what does this do? It draws in viewers who go, oh, okay, redemption arc? Question mark? Maybe. Let's see. And so they tune in, and so he gets more views, and so he gets a bunch of money, and so hey, people go, hey, this guy who's this really big name, he's back. He's being this positive influence. Let's work with him. Let's see what can be done, right? And he gets a bunch of money. What does he do with that money? That money reveals that underneath it all, there's no mental health. There's no mental illness there. There's no mental breakdowns. There's nothing. He's just a piece of shit who genuinely believes he is better than other people. He's got a god complex. That's okay. That's okay. Don't hide behind mental illness. You don't have that. You don't have those problems. If you did have those problems, somebody should help you. But and here's the thing, right? This is the diagnosis for somebody who is absolutely not qualified to be diagnosing. I don't think he's got any actual mental health problems. I don't think so. I think he plays it up for the camera because I think he can I think he thinks he can get away with it. With that being said, even if he did have those mental health problems, even if he did have BPD or fucking dual personality disorder, no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. If you're around that type of person, you don't care. You, person who is around those people, you're not going to care. All you care about is the fact that at the end of the day, you're the one getting abused. And because you're the one getting abused, you're in the shit. And when you tell that person, hey, you're being wrong to me, you are treating me badly when all I want to do is be there for you, all I want to do is be your friend. And then at the end of the day, it's your fault for complaining because they're having a problem with their mental health. Because the mental health problem isn't actually a mental health problem. It's a shield that they use so that they can do whatever the hell they want to you and you can't do anything back. That's all it is. That's all they care about. People like FuzzyTube do not actually believe in that mental health shit. They don't. If they did, they'd act differently. There wouldn't be this cycle of humility when they're in the dirt and then immediately turning back to bad behavior when they're up here, right? It wouldn't happen. This is a cycle of manipulation. Fuzi's just a terrible person. And that's okay. There's plenty of terrible people out in the world. Just don't pretend to be a good person.
Thing to the effect that he's going to be the biggest entertainer in the entire world,
Ha.
and maybe he's going to put on some massive events, and then he destroys his life like a horrific plane crash that leaves no survivors. And then he
I'm not gonna lie, this shit look fucking delicious right here. This shit look delicious.
destroys his life like a horrific plane crash that leaves no survivors.
I'm not even gonna sit here and say sorry but like.
Ugh, I fucking hate watching these videos because it's such a clear manipulation technique. I'm not even gonna apologize because I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to be forgiven. Watch, that's what he's gonna say.
I'm trying to explain to y'all, like, I'm gonna sit here and say sorry but like, I'm trying to explain to y'all, like.
He didn't even say that. He just skipped over it. He's gonna say some bullshit about mental health.
Now that my adrenaline dumped and I'm back to Yusuf, and I
Alright, the whole there's Fuzi and there's Yusuf, guys. There's two personalities. Right.
open Twitter and I see what Fusi did, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
Well, now Fusi has announced his new career, proclaiming that
This is a terrifying fucking thing to see on my screen when I'm not prepared for it. It's fucking the middle of the night. I'm gonna go to bed after recording this shit. Fuck you, man. You're terrifying.
the Fusi character he created as
Gonna have
Yusuf is
nightmares
dead
of this.
and never coming back,
Wait, what?
proclaiming that the Fusi character he created as Yusuf is dead and never coming back.
How many times has Fusi died, though? Or how many times has Fusi been put away to never come back?
King Crashout.
Fusi streams his death where he says his new persona is taking over.
He's pretending to be me. It's not me, okay?
You're not gonna get away with this. They're gonna know it's not you. They're gonna know it's not me. You're not me. Okay? You're not.
But before we get into his continued horror
This is some like Red Room type shit. This is some weirdo type shit.
choices, I want to tell you guys about a great choice that you can make with today's video sponsor.
Which is to skip over the sponsor. Don't mind me. Just gonna boop 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 boop. Holy shit, that's a long ass sponsor.
Today. So Fusi's big plan now is to become a rapper. This damn near 40-year-old man thinks that he is going to be
That grill looks ridiculous. Is that supposed to be Fusi on his lower teeth? Like I see the Y here, the S and the E. I see, like it's so like poorly done. It's so weird, dude.
the next big
What
thing in
what is the
music,
objective?
selling out stadiums.
Fuck me, dude.
Took a long break, bitch, I'm back, now I'm too hot. I can't fit these racks that's in my bank in a shoebox.
I mean, let's
Trash.
call a spade a spade. This is downright pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, this dude should be starting a
Goddamn, what the fuck?
family or running a business by now.
Oh, absolutely. Like I feel like if you've made as much money as FusiTube and had as much popularity as him, and you're still in the state of life that he's in, you're a complete fucking failure, right? He's had the millions. Like, buy a couple houses, be a landlord, bro. Like, start a business, do something with that money. Make it so you can actually be a force for positivity while you're around here, right? Like, actually be that person that you claim you want to be. Make a legacy for your kids, man. If you don't want kids, make it for your fucking cousins, uncles, aunts, your fucking nieces and nephews. Do something, dude. If you have none of that, make it so it's good for the people of your neighborhood, like where you're from, something, right? He was a millionaire. He probably still is a millionaire. You can't invest some of that money into a business that like generates passive income, gives something back. Like it's all for you. It's all me. And this is why I say like the guy's a piece of shit.
Filthy rich with his entire life situated after being handed the world on a silver platter.
Some
Yep.
retard asked me why Aiden never shout me out. Like I'm supposed to give a
You clearly do. You clearly.
He was making hundreds of thousands of
I hope he broke his hand doing that shit. I hope he hurt himself.
dollars a month for years.
What was that?
He was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month for years, and instead of investing any of it or building something away from YouTube and his Fousey persona, he overspent renting an LA condo, he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on massage parlors and
You can say massage parlors, but I guarantee he was going to brothels
other useless material possessions
and
like
straight up prostitutes and shit like that. I guarantee, because he's admitted to being a sex addict, right? Like he wasn't just getting massages. Let's be honest.
jewelry and cars. And now this guy is still out here begging for crumbs at the bottom of the degenerate streaming barrel.
And by the way, I'm gonna be honest. If I was making hundreds of thousands a month, I guarantee most of that money, like at least 80%, houses. I'm buying houses. I'm buying up houses. I'm getting some shit started with that regard. I'm learning how to do that, and then eventually, when I feel like stopping YouTube, when I feel like I don't want to do it anymore, when I feel like I'm no longer getting like a return on my investments of time anymore, I'll probably just full focus on home ownership, dude. Like, be a landlord, a good one, right? Like, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Why not be a good landlord? Like, if I don't need it, if I can just be providing houses to people, generating money back from that, like take care of their houses, like probably get a course, not go to, get a course, finish college, go back, get some electro engineering shit going, and just be that. Like, that just feels like an easy win. Am I weird for that? Like, if you were making 100,000 a month, like just 100,000, maybe more, right? Like, if you were making as much money as FouseyTube was making in the height of his career, which he was at for years, right? He was there for like a couple of years. He made millions. Like, I don't think anybody can disagree with that. He made millions. If you were making that money, let me know. What would you have done with it? What would have been the surefire way to make sure that you turn those hundreds of thousands of dollars that you were making for a few years into passive income for the rest of your life? Let me know what you would have done.
I mean, seriously, compare him to someone like Roman Atwood, his longtime friend who had a very similar career trajectory as Fousey. The two even went on a damn world tour together and were co-headliners. But one guy was smart with his money, he never crashed and burned, and now he's just older with his wife and his family, and building businesses, running a podcast, and basically just doing whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, honestly, I would probably, if I was that successful, first thing I'm doing, YouTube editors, YouTube clippers, like stuff so that I can just focus on streaming, which is the thing I love doing, right? And just streaming and hanging out with you guys and just doing that shit, just chilling, right? And doing fun stuff. Like, this looks fun as hell.
I'm sure he could walk away from the internet tomorrow. That is how it should be when you're blessed with so much wealth in such a short period of time. But obviously, there's always another side to the coin.
Yeah, it's the religion grift, it's the mental health grift, it's all of that shit that he needs to do at this point to get pity, otherwise nobody cares about him.
And that is the life of Yusuf.
Who was that? Oh my god! Oh
Brother saw the Hat Man.
my god! Oh my god!
YSC, Crashout, Crash, Mr. Viral, Mr.
Bro, get that
whatever you
hat
wanna
off your
call me.
head.
Hi. Y'all thought
It's
you could say whatever the
ridiculous.
hell you wanted about me in TikTok comments, Instagrams, YouTubes. I saw everything, and you have to pay for it.
No.
So now he's changing his name and his online persona
Crashout.
from Fousey to Crashout YSC, and in his first single titled First Day Out,
What are you doing, Bash? Bro. What are you doing, King Bash? Oh my god.
he filmed a video of his funeral that was directed by King Bach of all people. Yes, like I'm
Is it King Bach, King Bash, King Bach, King Bach? I'm calling him Bash. I
talking
don't care.
about the one dude from Vine who no one has heard from for the last decade. The poor guy
Nobody's heard of him for the last decades. I'm pretty sure he's made bank and he's just living his life.
must be down so bad that he's taking this type of work.
I think he just thought he was friends with Yusuf, right? Like I think he was just friends with Fusi. Like what has King Bash been up to? 1 second. King Bash. What has he been up to? Andrew Byron Batch, which he has he was on Vine. He was the most followed users. Yeah. But what has he been doing more recently? Internet comedian. Yeah, he ventured into acting. Black Jesus, he's done some stuff. Okay, he's actually been in a bunch of movies. The disaster film? The film genre that has an impending or ongoing disaster as its subject. Film Greenland. Huh. I didn't know he was in any serious movies. That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, man, he's doing fine, man. Like I don't think Bash's appearance here is because he's doing badly on YouTube or anything. I think his appearance here is purely because he saw an opportunity to do something. Like he clearly likes this more high value stuff, high production value stuff, and he saw the opportunity of doing that with somebody that he probably thought it was his friend.
All right, and you know, if you want to come and pay your final respects while the poem is going, feel free to. Here we go.
In the video, Fousey is basically throwing a pity party for himself before he breaks out of a coffin to stick it to his haters and tell them that he's not going anywhere, questioning where his real friends were when he was down and out.
They don't like the truth because I be stating facts. They say he's killer, we killed it, I'm okay with it.
Now honestly, this has to be my favorite moment in the
It could also just be a paycheck, you know. Paychecks are nice. I think everybody likes a good paycheck.
entire music video, when the guy just starts dancing around like a little kid.
You're a fan, you're a fan, you're a fan, you're a fan. Eminem would call you a motherfucking stan, you're a fan.
I don't know, some
What the fuck was that bar, dude?
Something about the guy who rode Drake for the greater part of the last 10 years, at one time even trying to make himself into a carbon copy of him, using the Kendrick Cannot Like Us reference, just doesn't sit right with me. But hey, I guess it makes about as much sense as this entire era
Now, what the fuck is he doing here, acting like a...
of
My
Fousey.
god, dude. You're like 40, bro. Grow up.
That's the first time I've ever been in a coffin. That's the scariest shit I've ever done in my life. Don't take life for granted, because one day, what's guaranteed?
Bro, his grill is so bad that it actually looks like he has no teeth, like he's just gumming it.
Is we're all gonna be inside one.
And keep in mind, guys,
Woo, so deep. Psych! I'm actually gonna die out in the open.
this single was supposed to be his big moment that he has been teasing
Nobody gave a
for
shit.
months.
Let's see.
But when it came out, it actually got less than 50,000 views in the first day.
I mean, in the first day, that's fine.
And even days after it being covered by some of the biggest streamers and content creators.
Let's see. So, what is this called? What is this called? Fousey Tube Coffin Music Video.
Like I said before,
Shut up. I mean, it's been 11 days. It's got a good amount of views. Wait. Oh, it's a full movie. Nobody's watching the full movie. Nobody gives a shit. But like, I mean, 50. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he's not doing so bad, right? Like, there's plenty of YouTubers with similar followings who cannot get nearly as much. Of course, you know, this is an impressive amount considering it was 2 hours ago. But then he's a much more recent YouTuber. He's got a much more active fan base. A lot of Fousey's fans. This is fucking cringe, by the way, because it's just him. right? It's not because it's pronouns, it's because the pronoun is just him, right? That's cringe. But like a lot of Fuzi's fans have kind of like moved on. They're not watching his videos anymore. They've kind of aged out of being fans of Fuzi, but they're still subscribed. So, you know, that's something else to consider. But yeah, he's yeah, for somebody with 10 million subs, kind of sad, but at the same time, that's not that bad.
It has only racked up around 175,000 views.
That's still a good amount.
Keep in mind, this is uploaded on his main channel that has over 10 million subscribers.
As I said, right, like 10 million subscribers, a lot of those might no longer be active users, right? And I'm not gonna lie, that music video was trash, bro.
Meaning not even 2% of those people were willing to click on this video. And I truly believe that most of the people who did tune in were just there to see how bad it could truly be. Like even the basic fundamentals of making a song sound decent, like proper mixing and mastering and layering of the track, are really nowhere to be found. In fact, the video appears to have been edited on CapCut, so I'm guessing that he mixed this shit himself in GarageBand. I mean, it truly sounds putrid. And it's really funny because this isn't even the first time that Fuzi has tried his hand at music. Around 6 years ago, he had—
Bro, just do like KSI, right? Get a good team that'll help you make good sounding songs. Like I don't think anybody can argue that a lot of KSI songs are pretty good, like regardless of anything else he's been doing.
He had a song with DJ Khaled that was far more popular than this one.
Yeah, because it was fucking DJ Khaled.
Will ever be. But once again, I guess this is all part of the long, never-ending cycle.
Why is he so close to the camera? Every time he gets that close to the camera, like, ugh.
That he puts himself through every
And I'm
year.
never expecting
like
it.
One day we will totally see a 60-year-old Fuzi crashing out on the latest trend.
For sure. How old is he? Like,
At
I've called him a 40-year-old, like, a bunch of times. How old is he now? He's 30. He's not even 40. He looks 40, I'm not gonna lie. But, like, he's 34. Bro, you're at the height of your life, man. What are you doing?
At the end of the day, I really do feel like streaming was just about the worst thing that someone like Fuzi could have stumbled upon.
Oh, for sure, because like the thing with streaming is it's all about clippable moments, right? That's what you want. With streaming, you just want the maximum amount of just clippable moments that can be turned into their own videos, can be turned into their own short form content, and all that stuff. And when somebody like FusiTube, I'm gonna get this out of the screen because that's just fucking haunting. Somebody like FusiTube gets a hold of that sort of a medium, they're just going to become the worst version of themselves possible. They're going to be threatening people, they're going to be attacking people, they're going to be doing all sorts of stupid shit to get attention, and it's terrible.
The guy is obviously impulsive, he's destructive, and constantly having to engage with the live community that he's trying to entertain so that he can—
And not to mention that live community knows how to rile him up, and so that's exactly what they do.
Go viral is a recipe for disaster for someone like him.
You are a debt to me. Every single thing I said to you was a lie. I didn't love you. Every time I you, I thought about my ex. I hate you. You're Chuck E. Cheese is listen.
What the fuck is his problem with Chuck E. Cheese? Like, he told a cameraman to go work at Chuck E. Cheese. He's calling his girlfriend now Chuck E. Cheese while crashing out. Like,
my album comes out and you start hearing it when you're in the club or getting by a Chuck E. Cheese rat.
What is your deal with Chuck E. Cheese, bro?
Don't you dare text me.
And on the other hand, rapping is also considered a young man's game, and nothing that he is bringing to the table here really tells me that we should take him seriously.
Yeah, and not only is it nothing new, it's terrible.
At all. I mean, I would say this guy used to be considered somewhat of an inspiration.
Plus, he was never into rap like that. He was never part of that culture, as far as I'm aware. Like, I'll be honest, I've never been a Fusi fan, but like, I have never once heard him mentioned in the same sentence as another rapper.
Someone who at the very least—
Or I say another rapper implying he's a rapper. No, as a rapper.
Least attempted to wear their faults on their sleeve.
I felt worthless. I felt ugly. I felt gay.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Except for the last part, I don't think you're gay.
I felt that like that.
But over the last 6 years,
although when you see him dressed like this, you kind of start wondering.
Fusi has taken every opportunity to show himself to be a narcissist who is only interested in using people around him for his own personal gain. And it's like no matter how hard he tries to present himself a certain way, I feel like people have caught on to this trend.
Pull out what
I mean, yeah, which is why nobody really gives a shit. Like, he's had a bunch of crash outs this year, I'm sure, and nobody gives a shit other than like this is the first video I've seen on him in a while, and I follow a bunch of people who talk about him all the time.
Whatever you're talking about, you clip farmer.
I can't.
Pull out
You're the clip farmer dipshit.
whatever.
The guy has deep-rooted identity issues, a problem with social validation, and ultimately he's always been driven by a deep sense of insecurity. I mean, it's one thing for like an 18 to 25-year-old person to still be acting.
It's not. It's never been okay for anybody at any age to be acting this way. The thing is, when you're under 18, right? Like, oh, it's normal for them to be acting that way. You want to know why you say it's normal? Because you expect that the next second their parent is going to come into frame and smack the fuck out of them to teach them, how to behave. When you're 18 to 25, you're supposed to already be figuring out, like, this shit's stupid. I should stop doing this. When you're 34 years old, what are you doing?
Acting this way, but this guy is damn near middle-aged, still embarrassing himself online
That was weird. I don't know why that opened.
for a pretty minuscule amount of money that he could have been making passively if he just would have been smart at all about any investment back in the day.
Excuse me? Can I borrow $4?
No, I'm sorry, you can't ask my customer.
He doesn't even have $4, bro. He's a fucking bum like that.
Where's that?
I can't ask another human to pay for my coffee. Is that a Macy's rule? I'm a millionaire. I'm asking to be
Right.
scared $4. It's okay. Thank you. You guys are all broke as
Yeah, I'm sure they're broke.
I mean,
Can't
like,
even
if
pay
he
for
would have
his
been
coffee.
investing back then, like in 2012 through 2017,
He still dresses like an 18-year-old.
oh my god, that money would be compounding and making so many more little money bags. But no, instead the guy wanted jewelry, he wanted cars, he wanted all this bullshit. And even now when he touches money, he still does the exact same thing. He's asking his audience, oh, what supercar should I buy this week? Or I guess I should say likely rent. Either way, I want to know what you guys
Bro, all of these mini disses, they're so good.
think about the latest update on Fusi. I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video and dropping a like, maybe sharing with a friend. I also encourage you to go check out the sponsor of today's video, Mando. But as you guys know, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and some other internet narcissists out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace!
With the YouTube Music app.
Shut up. I will drop a like on you, Jamari, the Tan Superman. I appreciate the video. That was some good eating. Good video. Some of those fucking shots of Fusi when he was fucking this close to the goddamn camera are gonna be giving me fucking nightmares. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you again next time. Have a good one. Cheers.